Hello everyone, welcome to Code and Box Automation Lab. This is Shariful. Today we're going to see some Java coding problem related to array. Usually in Selenium interview, if they ask some coding problem based on Java and specifically based on Java array, they ask those are the main the common questions. They may ask different questions too, but those are the usually most of the time they ask during the interview. As an example, number 1, write a program to sum all the numbers in an array and print that sum. Number 2, write a program to print two-dimensional array. Very simple. Number 3, write a program to find minimum number or mean number in an array. Number 4, write a program to sort an array to ascending or descending order. Okay, let's get back to our Eclipse. Open our Eclipse. Okay, the first one we're going to see how we can sum the numbers in an array, and we'll print that. Okay. So I created a class. It's called ArraySum with a main function, and inside the main method, let's declare an integer array. Say example, the array, the value would be say 2, 5, 2, 5, 3, say 8, 9. Okay, this is an integer array. And so now my task, the problem is I have to add all the values in array. It means 2, 5, 7, 3, 8, 16, and then 9 is 25. Okay, so this would be my problem to sum up all the values in an array. So it's very simple. How can I do this? So let's run a loop. This is there is a tips. Okay, if you have an array, try to use a loop. You have to use a loop to make or to solve the problem. Okay, this is the tip. Is the tip number 1. So let's run a for loop for integer. So variable I equals to, I will start from my for loop journey will start from index 0, since the array follow the indexing. So 2 is 0 index, 5 is 1, then 3 is 2, 8 is 3, and 9 is 4. So my index is integer I equals to starting from 0, and then I will say I, it should be less than, the value of I should be less than the length of my array. So length is a dot the length method. Okay, length method will get the length of my array, and then I will increment the value of I. Okay. Oh, sorry, here should be colon. And now here I'm going to say so here in the for loop, inside the for loop in a body, so what I'm gonna do, I will get the value of I. It means index number. Based on the index number, if I get say a of I, it means the one is I, the index is 0, so it will get the value of 2. One is I, it's 1, it will increment, so 1, it will get the 5. So each and every value I will get, and I will put in a variable. I will store in a variable, say it's given name sum. So I need to declare another integer variable called sum. Let's put in it 0 on the sum, and here I need to, so here if one is index I equals to 0, so it will get the 2, so 2 will store in sum. The next time, and I will increment, so now it's I is going to be 1, which is a 5. So sum a of I equals to 5. So sum will replace with the 5. We don't want to replace, we want to add with the previous one. So let's add, put the sum here. Now see, so I'm saying the first sum is 0 and a of I equals to 0. It means 2 plus 0 equals to 2. So sum value is 2. So and then it will go back to the it will increment the I is going to be from 0 to 1 and 1, it will check the condition, this condition, 1 less than a of length is 4, 1 2 3 4 5, sorry 5. So 1 less than 5 is true. It will come here, a of I equals to now is 1, which is 5 plus, you know, my last sum was 2, so 2 plus 5 will be 7. So my latest sum is now 7. So this way the value of I will increment and it will, you know, change the value here and it will sum with my last previous sum and we'll get the latest or updated sum. When it means it will started from 2 and up to 9, and one by one all the number will be added and stored in sum variable, and at the end when it's done I will jump out from the loop and I will print the value of the sum. So I'm going to say sits out the total, you know, the sum of the array. Let's print the message. The sum of A is, okay, let's print the message and the value is sum, right? This is the total sum holding. Save it and then let's run it. Here we go. The sum is 27. You can add it. 5 to 7, 3, 8, 8 is 16, and 9 is 27, right? Good. So this is the sum of the of an array. This is very simple. So what if it can ask you, what if let's say print, what if it may ask you, so what if there is a question also. Question is print the index number of say 8. So what is the index number of 8? We know from this array we can see it, we can tell, okay, it's 2 is index 0, so 1 2 3, the index number 3, the 8 is belong to index number 3. But how we can, you know, show in your program, how we can prove that your program the 8 is belong to index number 3? How can we do this? To do this, let's comment this part. We don't need this part, we don't need this part either. So here inside the for loop body I will say, so we know a of I, right? So a of I, it means it's the I is the value of index. So when it will I'm going to check the a of I. If a of I equals to 8 equals to 8, I'm going to put a if condition, because every time when I is change, it means the index changing, and it will get the corresponding value of the index, right? So if a of I equals to 0, it means value is 2, then 1 is 5, 3, and 2 is 3, and 3 and 4 is like, you know, so 0 1 2 3 is 8. So if a of I, every time it will go to the loop and it will increment the value of I, and I will compare. If a of I equals to 8, if is this, then I will just print a simple message. I will say sys out, I'll say sys out, and I will just print the value of I, because when a of I will get the value of 8, it means you know, that the value of I is the index of that 8 value, right? So I will say the index number of 8 is, right, is, and just get the print that specific I when it's a of I equals to 8, right? This is the one, and then this is the done, this is the done. Okay, save it, run it. Okay, the index number of 8 is 3. You can see it 0, 1, 2, 3. So when is the index 3, the index number of 3 is the value for 8. Okay, so that's all for this the simple array problem related with the sum, and also find the specific index number for a specific value from a array. Okay, so let's check the next problem. Welcome back. So our next problem related to the arrays is write a program to print two-dimensional array. Okay, so two-dimensional array, let's get back to our Eclipse. Okay, I create a class, it's called 2D arrays, and let's create a two-dimensional array. Yeah, so when you have a and this is the sign for array, and you have a 2, this third bracket, it means it's a two-dimensional array, and your value would be in a curly braces. So, and it should be comma here, and first one, say example, I'll put very simple. Okay, say 1, 2, 3, 4, and the second one would be say 5, 6, 7. Okay, and this 2 will be closes by another curly braces, right, and the semicolon. So this is a two-dimensional array. So I need to print all the values in this two-dimensional array in my console. How can I do this? So let's talk about a little bit the basic concept about the two-dimensional, and based on this this array 1, 2, 3, 4, and another one 5, 6, 7. If I go here, so this is the array would be looks like. So A is my array, and it has a first the array it's the value it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then second one 5, 6, 7. There is nothing here, right? And in an array, okay, this is there is a 2 rows. This is the this is the 0 and 1. This is the 2 rows. So this part is mentioned by row. This is the row. It means the row, and this is the part you can see I draw. It's a columns. So I have how many columns? 0, 1, 2, 3. So it started from 0 since array follows the 0 indexing. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 columns, which is 0 to 3, and the rows is 2 rows, which is 0 and 1. Okay. So in an array, if I want to read the values data from two-dimensional array, so I have to count the rows as well as. So example, if I want to get this values 1, what this means, this values is allocated in 0th row and 0th column, right? So when it's this one will be, if I have a if I can read, so this one will be value of A 0th row and 0th column. If I say A 0 and 0, it means it will print me, it will give me the A value, 1 value, right? Similarly, so it means the first this one, it's always meant for row, and this is for row, and this is for this is for column. right? Column. Similarly, if I want to get the next value 2, it will be 0th row and first column, and even it's and so on, right? 0th row. So to get the, I understand, so to get the any value, first we have to find out what's the number of the row. We have to see the rows number and the index number for the column. The second one would be the index number column. So to get a 1, it would be 0th row 0th column, and to get the second one, it would be a of 0 and then 1, right? So then it will give us 2, and third one a of 0 and 2, so 2 would be equals to 3. So this is the way I'm going to have the value print, you know, from this array. So this will be print 4, right? Okay, so it means, you know, first I have to get all the values from 0th row, and then again I have to get all the values from the next one will be you know, 1th row 0th column, 1th row 1th column, 1th row 2 column, 1th row 3rd column. So it means, you know, I have to get all the values from the first row, which means 0th row, and all the values next one would be all the rows from the second row, which is the row 1th index, right? So to do this, I have to use two for loop. One for loop, which is the outer for loop, it's going to be, you know, control my row, this row. So every time, you know, the row will control or maintain my row, the first for loop, this row, it's like 0th row, you know, and it will also maintain that how many, you know, row I have. So inside every row I will, you know, use another for loop that will determine the column's index. So for 0th row, you know, I will use the another for loop to maintain, to see the what's the it will start from the 0th column. Then for the same row I will increment the value for the loops, and it will determine, increase the value for the columns for another one. And so it's the same way, you know. So I will use 2 row, which is a nested two for loop. One is which is called the nested loop, or you can say outer for loop and inner for loop. Outer for loop will maintain the row, and inner for loop will maintain the column. Let's do it. So as I said, let's create a for loop, and this is the outer for loop, and this will, you know, maintain or control my row. So my row is started from 0, okay, and how long it will continue, it depends on the length of the of my row. So how can I get the length? A dot, if I use the length method, it will give me the total number of row for this array, so which is this one, right? So I need to run my loop to cover all the rows started from 0 as long as and less than the length, and then I will, here I have to increment so that it's, you know, first is covered for 0, then it will go increment the value of 0, which will be 1, then it will check the condition. So this way it will cover all the rows. So this is the outer loop, and inside this loop I need another loop to maintain, to get the value from the column. Okay, for 0th row I need all the values for column from 0 to based on its length, right? So I will use here this for loop integer, I will use j equals to, again, column is started from where? 0, right? Our column is started from 0, and it's based on the length. So every 0th row there is a column. How many column? 1 2 3 4. For 1th row I have a column 1 2 3. So I need the length of the column based on the row. So when it's I is 0, it means the first row I need the, you know, this is this for loop, I will get the length of the also column. So first I have to start the journey for my column, which is going to start from 0, because every row the column is started from 0, right? Integer j, I will say integer j equals to 0, and I would say j should be less than what? It should run as long as the length of the column based on the row. So I will say a of I, so this is the the row number dot length. Let me explain you this one, and then I will increment the value of j, right? So what I'm doing here, in this row, this for loop, the inner for loop, as I said, this inner for loop will get the value from as per the column. So this is, so since column is started from 0, that's why I said j equals to 0. And then this condition, it's always means that how long I have to continue this loop. It means it's really depends on the length of my column, length of column of 0th row, length of column of 1th row. So first one is, that's why I said a of I will determine my row, number of my row. So first one is I is 0, it means it's the first row, and dot length, this length will get the total number of length, total number of column for first row. And when value of j will increment, it will get the total number of length for the it will get the value of increment the value for the columns for the same row. Eventually it will cover all the columns for a specific row, which is the first one is 0, and second one, when it will increment the value of I, it means it will move to the second row. So in now all I need, now I can say I can easily get the value of a of I and j, right? So when I is 0 and then j is 0, it will get 1 value, right? I is 0, j is 0, it will get this 1. You can see this, a of j 0 0 0, it will get 1. Then again 0 1, it will get the 2. So here is a of I, when is a of I is it's now it's I is 0, j equals to 0, it will get the value. And this loop will continue. It will not go back to the outer loop. It will go still, it will continue to the inner loop as long as the loop is fulfill the condition. So j would be 1. So I equals to still 0 and j would be 1. So it means it will 0 1. It will get the second value. Okay, then 0 2, it will get the third one, and then fourth one would be 0 3, it will get the fourth one. Then it will increment the value of I. The condition will be false, the loop will go back to I, then I will increment, so it will be from 0 to 1. It means for the second row, right? So now it's j is 0 and a of I it means now 1 is for the second row. The length, it will give me the total number of length, which is the number of columns for the second row, and it will come back here. So I is now 1 and then j is 0. Then again j will be increment, I is 1, j is 1. So same way it will keep looping, and it will get all the values of a and j. So I need to print these values, right? Let's print it. I will say sys out, and then just print this guy. Okay. Okay, let's save it. Okay, let's print something here, the message. Maybe we can print a message here. Values of A, values of 2D A, 2-dimensional. So let's put the values of A. Okay, that's it. So run it. Here we go. So values of A, it's 1. Okay, here is okay, it's printing. Okay, the values of A, it's let's okay, no, the message is not right. Let's print this. Okay, so let's print this one this way, so don't remove this part. Okay, you can see. Okay, you can see the values is 1 2 3 4, so which is 1 2 3 4, and then 5 6 7 5 6 7, right? Good, looks good, pretty good. So that's the way you can easily print two-dimensional array. Okay, so let's check the next one, and I will see you on next tutorial. Welcome back. So our next problem, it's number 3. Write a program to find mean value or mean number in an array. Okay, so I create a class, is give a name mean number in an array, and assume that this is my array. Okay, AV array. It's a two-dimensional array. It has the values like 2 4 5 3 4 7 1 2 9. Okay, and so in this array I have to find out the mean value, the minimum value. Okay, so we can see that we can see by looking this array. So 1 is the minimum value, so I have to find this value or print this value in my console, that this is the minimum one, by doing the coding. So to resolve it, okay, this is my approach. First I will tell okay, I'm assuming, since we don't know when you do the code, okay, I have to prove it through the code. So I'm assuming that okay, the first value from this array is min. So it means I'm giving a variable name, it's min, mean, and its type is integer, and it's the first value is located where, since it's a two-dimensional, so it's a 0th row 0th column, and AV of 0th row 0th column, right? So the array of AB is 0th row 0th column, which is the first number, first value. I'm putting this one in a assigning this value in a mean variable, and it's returned an integer, and I'm saying okay, this is the mean. I'm assuming. So what I'm gonna my concept would be to resolve, my step would be to resolve the problem. So this is, since I'm saying this is my mean, I will compare this mean variable with each and every, I will traverse to this array, and I will get the value, each and every value, and I will compare with that value with the mean variable. And if I see this mean, the value I get from this array, and if I see that value is less than my mean, then I will replace that value in a mean variable. I will assume that that's my updated mean, and then again I will keep continue. I will compare with that the updated mean with the rest of the values. So when I will see the value I find from the array, which is less than my updated mean, I will replace again my mean variable with the updated value. This way, I will cover each and every values in this array, and I will find the latest mean, which is the minimum value of this array. Okay, let's do it. And it's the similar, and I will follow the approach to get the value from a two-dimensional array. I will use the same approach that I did in my last problem, like to print how we can get the value or print values from two-dimensional array. This is a two-dimensional array. Same approach I will use, nested loop, which is outer for loop, and there is another for loop. Outer for loop will manage or maintain my rows, all the rows. How many rows I have? 1 2 3 rows, and there will be another for loop inside of outer for loop. There will be inner for loop will manage my columns. So between the outer for loop and inner for loop, I will use I and j value, and I will use the AV of ij, and it will get me the values of the first one, then second one, eventually all of the values, and I will compare those values with the mean variable. Okay, let's do it. So this is the node. I said okay, I'm assuming that the first number in the is the mean, so that I can compare with the rest of the number in this, in this array, with this array. Okay, let's create an for loop, which is this is the outer for loop. I'm saying integer I equals to 0, and then I will say I less than, so this is I is this for loop will for my rows, right? So my rows definitely will start from 0. Similarly here, just like others, right? So all the rows, it's like this is the rows, this is the rows, and all the values, this is the columns, right? So rows is like it started from 0, also column is started from zeros, right? So same way I'll do. So I'll say I need the length so that I can compare how long I need to run this loop, to manage my all the rows. So I need to length, to get the length I will say AV of length, right? Length method, and then I will increment the value of I so that it goes to the next row, right, after it's finished the first one. And inside this I will say another inner loop, which is the another for loop. I would say integer j, and this is also, this loop is for column, right? And column also started from 0, so my j will start from 0 to, and then I will get the length for so my condition would be j of length for columns. For what columns? For the based on the rows. So columns for the rows, the first is like when it's I is 0, it means 0th row, the columns length of the columns for 0th row, length of the columns for next for first row, and then eventually second row. So it means I need the length of the columns, it depends on the row. So I have to say AV, and based on I, this will get the row, and I have to say the length. So this length will get the total number of columns for what? It's for the row. So total number of columns for row. If it's I is 0, it will be 0th row. If it's I is 1, it will be 1th row, and it will find the columns for that specific row, right? That's my condition, right? Update condition, and then condition, and then I have to update the value of my columns so that I can cover each and every columns for a specific row, and then I will get the value, right? And now I'm saying I can get the value, right? AV, how can I get the value? So I and then j, so this will give me the value for 0th row, all the values, all the columns values. So it started from j is 0, then j will increment, j will be 1, so 0 0 0 1 0 2. This is the way each, and I will get all the columns values from 0th row. When it's a column is done, the I will be increment, it will get, so I will be 1, it will come back again, so it will get the for the first column, first rows, for the I is 1 and j would be 0, I is 1, j would be 1, I is 1, j would be 2. This way I will get all the columns value for the second row. So eventually it will cover all the rows. So 1 2 3, I have 3 rows, right? And then so I'm saying if, so I have to compare each and every, this will get each and every single values from my every rows, right? I'm going to compare this each and every single value with my mean variable, because I'm assuming this is my minimum value. So if I see this minimum, the value, the single value from this columns, each and every columns, this is less than, if this is less than this mean, it means whatever the value I will get over here, this is the my latest minimum, and I will replace that value with this mean variable. Okay, so let me write it. You can understand. If I'm comparing, if this avij it's less than mean, it means my first mean is the 2. Okay, if AV, so it means this AV, if this condition is true, it means whatever the value it's over here, this is the latest minimum, right? And then I'm going to, if it's true, I'm going to say let's save this AV, this value in my main variable. So my main variable will get updated if I see the value of AVIJ is less than my assuming mean, my starting main variable. So that means this mean will be the latest one. Okay, eventually this will compare, and this mean will be the latest mean, and this will be the final, the lowest or minimum value. So when this will cover each and every values in this rows, all the rows and all the columns. So all I need to just print it. Okay, I need to print it. When it's done, this is the closing, this is the closing, this is the closing. I have to print it. I have to print it here, right here. Sits out. I'm saying the mean value is mean value of AB is, okay, this is the mean value. Let's print it, just the variable mean. Okay, this is the one. Save it, let's run it. Here we go. You can see the mean value of AV is 1. You can see in my this array, I can see it. So 1 is the lowest value, and this able to find through our coding. Okay, this is the way we can find our mean value. So similarly, same question, if they ask like find out the max value from this array, the same way I will just change the condition here. Okay, here I will tell, what if I can tell here, I will just compare. I will assume that this is my max value, right? Instead of mean, I'm assuming that my first is my max value. So I will say, and here I will compare. Here I will compare if AV of, okay, let's copy this. If AV IJ it's greater than max, I'll give max. So I'm assuming that AV of 0 0 is my max. So I will compare each and every value when I will get from this array. I will compare each and every value with my max. If I say this AV, if I see this AV IJ is greater than max, it means that value is the max. I will update this max variable with this AVJ. So that way it will compare each and every values in this array, and max will get updated. And if I can print this max, right? So let's save it and let's print it. You can say max value is 9. Let's see. If I say 2 4 5 3 7, here we go. Yes, 9 is the max value. We can see visually. Okay, so that's the way we can solve it's any problem related to find a mean or max from any array, like one dimensional or two dimensional, doesn't matter. Okay, so let's go to our next problem. Welcome back. So our next problem related with the array, it's write a program to sort an array to ascending or descending order. So if you were given an array, either it could be value or character or a string, so we have to sort, we have to print the values as per ascending or descending. Okay, let's see how can we do this. Here is this example. I created an array, it's called class, is called array sort demo, and I have a string array. It's A, J, C, B. Okay, so as per this array, this is not ascending or descending order. Okay, I will print as ascending order. I will see how we can print as ascending order, and also I will see how we can do modify descending order as an array, and we can print it. Okay, let's do it. So let's see. So the tips again, one is array. Just remember, when you have a given an array, try to use the for loop. You have to use the for loop when it's array, so that it's traverse to your array from the beginning value to the last value. Okay, try to just remember this. Okay, use the for loop or loop. For loop, there is another loop, is called for each loop. It does the similar things, like it's help you to run a loop. Okay, so that it's you can traverse your array and get the values from each and every index. Okay, so let's go to I'm going to print one statement, sysout. Just print something here. I'm going to print before sorting. So this is the values like before sorting, right? This is, so I will print before sorting and I will print after sorting, like ascending order. Then I will say sorting after descending order, and then I will print it every time. So I will print, use a for loop. There is I'm going to use for each loop. For each loop, how it works, so you will use the same variable for your array, the variable which is holding the values for your array, same variable, then colon, then you will use another variable, say example a, and the type of the variable is based, type of the variable, it depends on the value of this variable. Like in your actual array, value is string, so I'm saying this will run a loop for str array, and every time it will go to this loop, this array, it will get the first value and will put in a variable, and the variable type would be this type of the data type of your array, which is a string. That's why you'll say string. So your A will have the knowledge each and every value of this array, and this loop will run as long as you have the value in this array. This is called for each loop. You can search on Google and you have the get details about the for each loop. Okay, let's call for each loop. Okay, so after this, so this is the loop. I will get here. So let's put this on for each loop, and inside this for loop, so what I'm going to get, so if I just now, A will have, every time it will hold the value of this, so I can just, if I print this A, ultimately it will print each and every value. So every time the loop will go, it will the A will get the replaced value, will get the updated value from this loop, from this array. Okay, so I can just print it, sysout, just print the value of, print the variable A, variable A. Okay, save it. You can, let's print it and you can see, you can say before sorting. So before sorting, so it's now, it's printing A, it's as per the loop as it is. Okay, so it means A is getting the value from here, and this B. Okay, now we can easily see the array's values before sorting. Now we're going to sort in ascending order. Okay, so in Java, to sort array, there is a method. It's called sort method. So arrays, I have to say the arrays dot sort, and then you have to give the the array, the variable of the array. It will automatically sort ascending order. Okay, let's see. we're going to use arrays dot sort method to sort ascending order. So this method, the sort method, it's automatically, by default it's sort ascending order the values in an array. So how we can do this? Very simple. We'll say arrays is the class, okay, in Java. It's from the Java library API, and inside this there is a method. It's called sort method. Inside this arrays dot sort, right? It should be here. Okay, arrays dot sort. Okay, long sort. This is float double sort object equal character float arrays. Okay, void sort arrays. Okay, not the parallel. Arrays dot sort long short. We'll use one of them. Okay, arrays dot sort object. This one. Okay, yes, object. So this one, and then I will pass the variable of the array. Okay, this is the method. Well, so this sort method, it's automatically sorted. You can see this is it's about the sort method, how it works, and this is the array. This is the class. Okay, this is the class from Java library API. Okay, and this method will apply to the array. What's the array? Array is str. Okay, this will print the values ascending order in this array. And after that, I will say again sys.out. So I have to print it, right? So this is this part, it's sorted the values of arrays ascending order. Then I have to print it. So to print it, I have to run another loop so that I can print it. That loop will apply on this, and I can print it. So now its str is sorted. So I have to still run another loops based for this array. Since this is array, it has a multiple values. So I have to run another loop, and I will get the values one by one, and I will print it. Okay, and it will follow this as per the ascending order. So I will say, let's print a message here. I will say after sorting in ascending order. After sorting ascending order, let's put a clone, and this one also. Okay, it looks better. Okay, and then I will use another for each loop. This time I will do this. Okay, same thing. I'll do the same thing. So it will do the same thing. So this str now ascending order, because I already converted here using the sort method, right? And this a will now get the value as per the sorted. Okay, let's save it, run it. Okay, after sorting in ascending order, you can see A, B, C, Z. Okay, that's fine. Now next one, it will be sort in descending order. Okay, sort in descending order. Descending order. Sort in descending order. So in Java, again, we're going to use another method. Is called reverse order, and it's a part of collections. Okay, and that will reverse any array, the value of array. Okay, so you have now my str is ascending order, right? If I reverse this str, if I apply any method that will, based on str's value, so now its str is ascending order. If I reverse the ascending order, it means it will be descending order. It means that it will be print j, then c, b, a. So I will use another method, will apply to updated str, which is ascending order. It means if it's reverse, it will be descending order. So the method is called reverse order, and it's part of Java's collection. So let me write here collections. I believe that is a reverse order. It should be reverse order. That's the method. Okay, we'll check. Let me see. So I would say, so let's use this ascending sort. So same under, so it's this one, it's sorting ascending order. So this str value is ascending order. I will apply that reverse order method in this the variable which is now ascending order. So I'm just going to say collections dot reverse. Okay, so I will say collections dot, then you can see there's a lot of methods under this collections, and collection is Java's one of the important part. Okay, it has a lot of info, a lot of details about the collections. So, and it's a part of util package. Okay, you can see util is the Java the package, and collection is the so on other part, and in the class, and inside this there is a method is called reverse. You can see reverse order. Okay, reverse order. So this method, so this, what this will do, this will reverse any order, what order based. Okay, this method will apply in this variable str. Now it's now doing the ascending order, and so this will do the reverse. It means it will be in descending order. So let's again, so now str is in descending order. Now same thing, sys out, I will print same type of message after sorting in descending order. Okay, run another same loop. Okay, another same loop. So now this a will have the value, each and every value from the descending order for this this variable, arrays variable, right, str. Okay, let's save it and then run it. Here we go. So this is before sorting a b c b a z c b, and this is after sorting a b c z, and this is descending order z c b a. Okay, it's fantastic. This is nice. So this is the way you can sort easily any array, either ascending or descending, just using sort method as well as the reverse method in Java. Okay, so that's all for now, and I will see you in next tutorial. Have a good one.